Well, the first time I saw this airplane was in the mid-40s. I saw Bob Sherwood, who had built it, flying it as a U-control. That meant that he had wires attached to the airplane and it flew in a circle with a beautiful two-cylinder gasoline motor. I fell in love with the airplane. It was a beautiful day. Bob became my idol, and years later, when I became a school principal, he was the mailman, and I used to tease him a lot by saying, "Bob, sell me the SE-5." Well, eventually he said, "Okay, I'll sell it to you." So in 50 is when I saw him then. He sold it to me for $25. I took it home and have had it ever since. It's an SE-5, and this is an artist's rendition of the actual SE-5, British fighter plane of World War I. Many people refer to it as the SE-5A. I've always just called it the SE-5. It's a British airplane, and I just love everything about it. Well, let me tell you what happened. I took it home and have had it at my home since then, but several years later, I decided to convert it from a U-control to radio control with a modern power system, which is a brushless motor. So I'd like to just show you how complicated that was. I have a box. This box that I will show you contains everything that was in the SE-5 in 1945. And I'm going to actually tell you a little bit about, let's say, here's the gas tank that Bob made.
Wow.
Here's another gas tank he made. Here are the electric motors that he used to change the RPM of the motor. He would run electricity from his waist through the wires to the airplane, and these motors controlled the speed of the. Here's the coil from the old-fashioned coil. Here's another gas tank, and so on and on. These things. This is the U-control system that was inside the airplane. On and on. So all of this had to be removed.
Wow.
And I certainly will keep these as museum mementos for the next owner, who will be my son Frank. He's going to own all of this.
What's this?
This is a part of a tire that deteriorated.
Yeah.
But this is part of a tire that was on it.
Yeah.
So there you have the weight of this was carried by the plane as it flew around a 70-foot circle.
Cool.
And so now we have it completely modernized, and I have test flown it, and I must say that it flies beautifully. I'm a member of the ARCS Club, which is the Aero Radio Control Club of Syracuse, dedicated to radio-controlled aviation. I think what I'll do right now is ask for a question that I can answer.
Okay, so you took out all the parts that we just saw, and but then you had to put in a radio control system.
Exactly.
And these originally this has no ailerons, right? But it has the rudder and elevator.
Exactly.
Now the elevator was hinged when it was a U-control because you'd go up and down.
Yes, yes.
But the rudder was not.
Exactly.
Right?
I put on nylon hinges.
Yeah.
Actually, fishing.
And that's the actual
line.
original. All the parts are original.
Yeah,
right?
all original.
Yeah. Yeah. This is all been recovered. No, this is the original, right?
This is
That's
all
original.
original.
That's all original.
Now, perhaps you might want to show how the rudder and the elevator do work with the transmitter.
Yeah. So here's the transmitter over here.
Over.
Ooh, it's got a battery hanging from it.
I'll just go over. I'll just go over and. It's a good thing you can edit. I'll just go over and I'll connect the battery.
We want to make sure the motor, though, is...
Oh, absolutely. That's off.
Do you want to take the propeller off?
Well, I think I can. I can just stay clear of it.
Okay,
Frank.
okay.
Get the propellers off. Here, this you can. Here, this will go. Now, if you want me to narrate this.
Yeah, just let's just watch
this. This is the elevator, and it's actuated by the transmitter. This is a transmitter.
Right.
All right. Now here's the rudder. So on one stick of the transmitter, you have up, down, right, left, up, down, right, left, and then also a gentle turning of the propeller.
Right.
Now this is the way it idles. And the power that's in that brushless motor is sufficient to get this airplane running down the grass and taking off for a beautiful flight.
Yeah.
So I'll turn everything off. And then
you can tell us about the flight.
Okay.
That's the...
Shall I do that right now?
Sure.
Okay. The first flight of this was 2 years ago. I took it out to the field, the ARCS field, and there were several other members flying that day. It was a beautiful day. And a good friend of mine and my former flight instructor, Don Perricone, was sitting in a chair. He had his airplane there, and I sat next to him. And we talked, and I asked him some questions because he was a certified flight instructor. And Don assured me that the center of gravity is exactly where it should be. And that would be somewhere here, right about here. With a biplane, you have to kind of find it, but the center of gravity for this airplane is about there.
Right.
So he assured me it's okay.
Yeah.
So I said, Don, I'm going to fly it. And so I had it all set, ready to go. And I put it out on the middle of the field. And without really knowing it, I gave it full power. And it took off. It started flying. And I, for the first time in a long time, felt an emotional rush that, my God, look what's happening to me. Now I have to bring it back. So what happened was I took off, finally gained my composure, made a left turn, then made another left turn and came downwind, and then made the base turn, and then finally final. And I came down, and the plane was coming towards me. It was the greatest sight at that time to see the plane slow down, flare, and land. And I looked at Don and I smiled. He smiled at me, and I don't know if he gave me the thumbs up, but it was a terrific first flight, although I didn't plan to do that. I just planned to taxi it. Well, anyway, what happened was that the other members at the field weren't too happy with me. And Don told me that they're upset over something. So I went down and talked to them. I said, did I do something wrong? And I was told, yes, you should have told us you were going to fly it, and you walked out onto the field, which we don't want. And I said, well, I'm very sorry, but I although I was slightly offended because they didn't share the joy that I had just experienced. I told them that this was the first flight of this airplane since 1945, or in the 50s, early 50s.
Right.
And now it's been converted to a radio control in Brussels. Well, I didn't wait to have anything else said. I just turned around, came back.